Hi, Jason Kettle, Gque Barbecue. Today, I've got a beautiful USDA Prime bone-in ribeye. We're going to cook this on the Weber kettle using the slow and sear. We're going to cook it indirectly so that it gets a perfect medium rare from bumper to bumper, and then we're going to sear it off on both sides so it develops that nice flavorful crust. If you want to see how we do that, it's coming up right now. For proven recipes and techniques using live fire, smash down that subscription button and hit that bell notification, and you won't miss any of our videos. So originally today I was going to cook a filet. However, I was walking through the meat department at Costco and I saw something for the first time that I haven't seen in a while. And that's these beautiful USDA Prime bone-in ribeyes. I thought this is absolutely what we have to shoot today. If you guys have a Costco nearby, there's a good chance they might be carrying these as well too. When selecting a bone-in ribeye, there's a couple of things I like to look for. First is this outer layer right here. This is the ribeye cap meat. It's arguably one of the best tasting parts of a cow. So I like to find a steak that's got the most available ribeye cap meat. We did a video on how to cook ribeye cap steaks. If you want to see how to do that, click that iCard up above. The second thing I like to look for is the secondary and tertiary marbling inside the steak. When you see these little striations of white, you know you're going to get a juicy, flavorful steak because those are little pockets of fat, and fat is flavor. So this steak comes in at a whopping 2 inches thick. Oh man, this is going to be absolutely delicious. We're going to add just some kosher salt and just some fresh ground black pepper. So go ahead and apply this on nice and thick. This is a good piece of thick meat so it can take on a lot of salt and a lot of pepper. So we're going to cook this steak in 2 different stages. The first stage, we're going to cook it indirectly. We're going to cook it low and slow so that we get that nice bumper to bumper medium rare. So to make this steak just right, we want to cook at 225 degrees. Using the slow and sear, it's very easy to do. We're going to take a chimney, we're going to fill it with charcoal, we're going to light it. And once it gets to about 25% of the way lit, we're going to dump it in the slow and sear. We're going to adjust the top vent so that it's open about 25%, and we're going to adjust the bottom vent so that it's open about 100%. This is going to keep a 225 degree temperature throughout the indirect cooking of the steak. So what's going to take this USDA Prime bone-in ribeye over the top is this awesome garlic butter basting sauce. To make this, we're going to take some unsalted butter, some fresh garlic, some rosemary and thyme. Man, the smells from this rosemary and thyme is awesome and really going to add a lot of complexity and depth and aromatics to this garlic butter. Let's go ahead and take a look at this steak. Wow, the first thing I notice is the aroma. The smells from the rosemary, the thyme, it smells fantastic. I cannot wait to put the garlic butter on the steak. So to sear off that steak and really develop that beautiful crust, we got to get another chimney of hot coals going. I'm going to go ahead and light the chimney. Now I'm going to dump these coals into the kettle once the entire chimney is lit and it's piping hot. So this steak has come up to its target temperature of 115 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and get the slow and sear prepared for a bunch of piping hot coals. So now we're set up to do our second stage of the cook, and that's where we're just searing this off. Super hot, just the way we want it. The hotter the better. I'm also going to put the steak on a cold grate. If I were to put this steak on that hot grate right now, it would instantly put sear marks all over it, getting an uneven cooking on the crust. The crust is where all the flavor is. So I want a nice, uniform, and consistent crust on both sides of the steak, and we're going to be able to create that by using this, this crate. So here we go. This is the fun part. I'm also going to baste this with the garlic butter. The main thing I'm going for right here is just to take it up that 10 degrees so it gets that perfect medium rare and also build that crust on both sides. The garlic butter, as it hits and drips down, is also going to ignite those flames. And that flame is going to hit the meat and release all those wonderful flavors, and that's going to hit the coals and release these flavor bombs. I'm not as much worried about hitting a target temperature right here. I want to keep it so that I get that nice pink medium rare, which as long as I don't go over 135 we'll get. So as long as I pull it off somewhere between 130 and 135, I'll be okay with that. So we just pulled the steak off. It's been resting for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm going to take its temperature here. It's coming in at 133, 132, so I know it's going to be a perfect medium rare, which is exactly what we're going for. Let's cut into this bad boy and see what we got. Take a look at that. Exactly what we're going for. It's the bumper to bumper medium rare. Look at the juice coming out of here. Look at the juice just from cutting it. Now for my favorite part, the taste test. That was absolutely fantastic. It was delicate, it was soft, it was tender on the inside, yet on the outside, it was flavorful, it was crusty, it was absolutely fantastic. It's everything I'm looking for in a steak. What's important is it was already a great piece of meat since it was a USDA Prime cut, and we didn't ruin it with all of those different flavors. We let the beef shine. All we did was add some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of garlic butter to really enhance that beef flavor. All in all, we let the beef shine through, and it's something I could taste.